Hello and welcome to Coriolis Automated Cloud Migration and Disaster Recovery as a Service. In this video, we will be performing a replica and a replica deployment of an Ubuntu virtual machine using the VMware as a source platform and OpenStack as a destination platform. The entire process will be performed using our Coriolis appliance dashboard. After connecting to the dashboard, we will select Replicas tab, followed by Create Replica. Once the replica option is selected, we will have to choose the source platform and its specifics. In this case, enabling CBT for the VM to be replicated, followed by the VM or VMs that we will be using. When the source options are complete, we will move to select the target platform, which in our case is OpenStack, and its specifics, which will be applied for the VM in question. Here we will go through advanced options. Since all the options are detailed in Coriolis' documentation, we will go only through the required ones for this current case, starting with availability zone, where the VM will reside, its floating IP pool, then security groups and networks to be listed by their names rather than IDs, allowing the machine to use floating IPs. Then specifying the flavor, hypervisor type, a keeper, and security group or groups. After setting the options for the VM, we will have to set the options for the Coriolis temporary resource. Here will be the flavor, once again, network, Linux image, allowing the temporary resource to boot from volume and use a floating IP. Specifying the volume type for it, specifying the floating IP pool, and allowing it to use config drives. Once these options are set, we will have to select the network to be attached to the VM and then the volume type for its disks. It can be either for all of them at once or specifying individual volume types for each disk. Furthermore, we can push scripts to run on the machine at the OS morphing step during the migration process. When all the options are set, we can configure Coriolis to run incremental syncs at specific dates using filters as either month, day, hour, and expiration date, which will point to the last incremental sync to be performed. The last page before starting the replication is represented by the summary, which will provide us all the previously selected options. After the replication starts, Coriolis will show us all the steps that are performed, starting with validating the selected options for both source and destination options, creating empty disks on the destination platform, creating the disk snapshot on the source platform, then creating the temporary resources on the destination platform, and attaching the previously created empty disks. Once that is complete, the disks will be replicated. When the replication is complete, the temporary resources will be deleted. Now, once we will have it successful, from the replica page, we can migrate the machine either based on the already replicated disks, or we can run an extra incremental for the disks. The option, which is actually the default one, with clone disks. Other options are represented by skip OS morphing, that can be used when the migrated machine or machines are using the same platform for both source and destination, and also force. Also, the user scripts option is available here as well, in the case that we would like to inject customization scripts on the machine before it becomes available on our destination platform. Clicking Migrate will proceed with the migration process, starting once again with validating the options for both platforms, creating the temporary resources, and performing an incremental sync for the disks as we kept the default option. Then it will move to the OS morphing step. Here the source platform drivers are removed and replaced by destination platform specific drivers. In our case, removing VMware tools and installing Virtio drivers. Once this step is complete, the flavor will be selected for the machine and it will then be booted. The success of this step will trigger the deletion of the temporary resources. When the process is finalized, we can go and connect to the destination platform to check the newly migrated machine. This guide will sum up the capabilities of Coriolis to replicate and migrate Linux VMs using VMware as a source platform and OpenStack as a destination one. Thank you.